Well, hey everyone, and welcome to another episode with your girl Audrey Codner from ACG Math Tutoring. Yes, your girl needed to take a hiatus. She took it. Now she's back. And we're coming back on a nice windy day here in Baltimore. So if you got that wig, make sure you put that stuff on tight and pull it so you will not have it blown away looking like a tumbleweave. So if anything, if you come on in, I decided sometime this week I had a new client that was working on the PERT. And I noticed that a lot of the stuff that she needed help with would be something that could help somebody who's doing the GED, the ASVAB, the ACCUPLACER, the TEAS test, or just need a refresher on Algebra 1. So, hey Twinkle, how are you? Hello Jimmy, thank you so much for coming back, guys. I know it has been a minute. So now let's take a look at this first question. All we need to do is solve. So we have 3x minus 5 equals 10. So we want to know, what is x? What is that magical number that we can put in place of x to make this into a true statement? Is it 3? Is it 5? Is it 15? Or is it negative 5? If you know the answer, go ahead and put it in the chat. If you're not too sure, you can also put a question mark. So this is an interactive and hopefully a safe space for everyone that comes on in. All right, so right now I have some B5s. I have x equals 5. Okay, I have my B, so I'm saying it's B. Twinkle's B. Will is saying it's B. B with my blank space. Jerry is saying it's B. Jesus, where have you been? Is saying it's B. I needed you a couple days ago. Okay, Oscar is saying it's B. Okay, we got a whole series of B's. Good job now. So you can do this one of two ways. Either you can take your answer choices and plug it in for the X to see which one will give you a true answer, or you can do basic arithmetic, algebra. So since I have minus 5, I always want to do the inverse when I'm solving. So I got my adding 5 on both sides. They cancel out. Then I have my 3x is equal to 15. So 3x means 3 times x. So I am going to do the inverse of multiplication, which is division. So the 3's cancel out. Now I got x is equal to 5. And we have done what we wanted to do, which was isolate our variable. All right, so let's try another one. So right here, we're going to evaluate. So we have 4 plus 2 times 8 minus 3 squared. Is your answer A, 150, B, 54, C, 104, or D, 29? Once you kind of get the answer, go ahead and just put it in the chat. And again, if you're just like, I think it's this, go ahead and put a question mark in. This is a safe space for you to show me your work. Show me what you know. Okay? Thank you so much for the follows. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so that's what you did. Good. We got our A. So Ro with the 104, Penny with B, 54. Jason in Vegas, welcome on in. Saying B. Danny Cook with an A. Yo's with the 54. We got B with Chad. Hello, Caribbean Queen. I am feeling a little bit better. So we had a couple B's. We have a C. Okay, so we have a fight to the death between B and C. Oh, all right. IMK saying it's A. Okay, Frankly is saying it's B. Big G Money saying it's B. Okay, Red saying it's B. Zara's B. Suzette C. All right, we got a little sprinkle with A, B, and C. So at least everyone knows that they're saying nope, no to D. So this is what we have to do. Process of elimination. So we're going to be using order of operation. Let me see if I can move this over just a tad. So remember, it is please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Okay, from left to right. Okay, so first thing, we need to take a look what's happening inside the parentheses. So inside the parentheses, we have 8 minus 3. So I'm going to bring down my 4 plus. I bring down my 2. Because I know some people probably already added the 4 and 2. No. Okay, we always do what's inside the parenthesis first. So we have 5, and that's going to be squared. So the P is done. Now we're working on the E. E means exponent. Okay, what is actually being raised to the second power? It's not 2 times 5 and then we're squaring it. What's actually being raised to the second power is going to be our 5, just the 5. So that means we have 4 plus 2 times 5 squared. Now 5 squared is not 10. 5 squared is you are multiplying that base of 5 to itself 2 times. So 5 times 5 gives us 25. All right. Okay, so now we're getting a lot of people with the B's. There we go. Thank you. So now, get rid of the E. E is done. So now we're looking at multiplying or dividing from left to right, whatever comes first, or then adding and subtracting from left to right. So multiply, divide, let's take a look. From left to right, what we need to multiply are those two numbers, okay? 2 times 25, that gives me 50. Now we bring down our 4. We can just go ahead and combine this, which gives us 54. So that is the answer of B. Okay, we're all right. Watching this is very confusing. So it's basically with the order of operation. I know some of you guys do. It's not PEMDAS. What is it that you do? Hold on. As you guys, I think it's BOM. Let me see if I can find it. Yes. So if I have anyone from Britain, this is what we're doing. So my international using Canada, mostly my British. Okay, you have your brackets. Then you're doing with your orders. So that's like called your exponents. Then you're dividing, then multiplying, adding, and subtracting. Okay. Us in the States, this is how we like to keep things nice and friendly and spicy. This is probably the only live that actually has like a friendly outlook. All right, so you work on your parentheses, then your exponents, multiplying, dividing from left to right. That's the key part. Then adding and subtracting. All right. All right, there we go. See, I try to join everybody together as best I can. All right, so definitely going to keep an eye out so we can do some more order of operation, but let's keep things moving because you're going to see a whole sorority of things going on. All right, so this time we're going to simplify. So we have 3x squared minus 4x plus 1 plus 2x squared plus 5x minus 7. Once you do your simplification, is your answer A, B, C, or D? What do we think? Okay, CD I'm going to show in a moment. I just want to finish this one and then I'll go back to it because something tells me that we might need some more simplification. All right. All right, so Gooch is saying A, Nelly is saying A, Manuel A, Xavier A, Zara A. Is that Damarosaurus is saying C, Maria saying C, AJ A, Bet A, Yo A. Hey Jordan, thank you for the follow. Danny with an A, Fritz A. Is that Michaela with an A, Abby with an A, Prince Nick with a C, The Chosen A, Horton A, Veer A with A twice, Ashley A, okay, Veer, Ali with a C, Sister Cam with a B, okay, my babe date of birth, okay, with the A, extra A, all right, so, Boo B is saying C, Sunny with a B. All right, so let's take a look at this. All right, so we got mixtures of A, B's, and C's. Okay, yep, I'm going to tell you the answer. Don't worry, don't fret. So, your exponents are also called degrees. So the highest degree that we have here is to the second power. Since we are adding, all we're doing is trying to find like terms. So 3x squared plus 2x squared is simply going to be 5x squared. Okay? When you're adding and subtracting, you're not doing anything with the exponents. So looking at your answer choice right away, C is out. Process of elimination. So now we're taking a look at negative 4x plus positive 5x. So when you have a negative 4 plus 5, so think of it like I had $5, I spent 4, I still have $1 left. Or I can simply say plus x. So when I'm looking at my answer choice, that means my answer should be A. But how are we getting the negative 6? Well, we have 1 plus negative 7. So if you owe me $7, you gave me $1, that means you still owe me $6. Okay? So your answer choice is, this case is going to be A. All right? So when you're adding, so that's why I always like to say, when you are dealing with polynomials, take a moment to look in between the polynomials. Notice my little eyeballs, whoop, zoop, nose, zip. Okay, so you want to take a glance to see if you see anything in between. If you see a plus sign, that means you're adding your like terms. If you see a minus sign, that means you're subtracting your like terms. But if you don't see a sign at all, that means you're multiplying. Okay, so you're going to be doing what's called the distributive property. All right. Not a problem. Is this on the GED test? Yes, Susan. Girl, for real. This, especially GED, ASVAB, ACCUPLACER, TEAS test, HESI test, almost any kind of test that has to deal with algebra, basically these first three. And then I forgot who asked me to see what the order of operation is. That is like our first three right there. Okay. All right. So I want to do a little more practice with this order of operation. I have way too many people telling me a different answer. All right, so here we go. I want you to simplify this. So 20 minus 4 plus 8 raised to the second power. Okay, go ahead and once you figure it out, put your answer in the chat. Okay. Okay, you learned that in 6th grade? Awesome, good. Because I've been getting a lot of emails from people that said they had to leave school by 4th grade. Okay, and now they're trying to go back to school and they're just like, I've never learned this. Hey, I'm not here to judge. I'm here to help. Because I know when I was in school, I used to hate, absolutely, capital H-A-T-E, hate math. And now look at me, and now I'm a math teacher. That's God right there. I ain't asked for the struggle. All right, so I got 48, 64, 8s. Okay, 64, 64s. Okay, hi Candy, how are you? Right? So we got 4, we got 64s. Math is fun, good. I got a negative 24 because I'm getting multiple answers. I got a negative 122, I got a positive 124, I got a couple 64s, a negative 4, a negative 44. You guys are proving my point, okay? So we need to work on this, okay? So let's break this down step by step. All right, again, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally from left to right. Okay, this is where we're at. So we need, and I'm going to write it just so one, you can get some room, and 2, so we don't have to worry about a glare just in case. I'm seeing a glare, but I don't know if you guys are. So why don't I just do this? Why don't I just rewrite it? I'm going to put my card up to the side, raise to the, ooh, ugly too. Raised to the second power. So now what we're doing is parentheses. We need to do what's inside the parentheses. Yes, we got brackets, but there is a set of parentheses inside of that bracket. So we need to combine that 4 and that 8. So here's my bracket. Here's my 20. Here's my minus. And 4 and 8, that's my 12. Okay? Oop, don't need that. That's supposed to be a bracket. Raised to the second power. Now, we had this bracket. So we still got some work to do inside of this bracket. So we got 20 minus 12. So 20 minus 12, that gives us 8. So now we got to do 8 to the second power. Okay, this is the order. We did the parentheses. Okay, we had a couple of those. Now we're working on the exponent. So now we have 8 squared. So 8 squared, that is not 8 times 2. Stop it. Okay? All right, so it's 8 times 8. So 8 times 8, that will give me my 64. So our answer for this original problem, which was 20 minus 4 plus 8. Now, if you try to put all of this in the calculator, sometimes it might work, but here's the thing. If you're thinking about taking your GED, your ASVAB, your ACCUPLACER, you cannot use a calculator. Okay, I'm giving you that as a fair warning, plus they put it into the documents as well. Okay. All right, thank you so much for the follows, everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So let's see if we can get another one of these. I'm going to actually use the back of this paper because we can. Paper ain't cheap. All right, so let's see what we got here in my little gambles. And if you're probably like, hey, Audrey, like, where did you get these cards from? I made them. Okay, notice on the very bottom, gotta put that copyright on there because people be trifling. All right, so, but if you want copies of it, there is a link in my bio. I'm gonna see if I can get myself a link tree because I know a lot of people are freaked out when they click it and it says, you're gonna go to a third party. And I'm like, yeah, yeah, you are. So it's legit. All right, so I got some 55s, I got some zeros, I got 45s, I got 70. I got 55s, 55s, 55s. Why are you dead? I'm talking to a ghost. Okay, to calculate what's inside, right? So now I got a series of 55s. She sets apart 70, Muhammad's 55, 55, 55, Chanel's 55, 55, 55. What? Canada, you okay, baby? Okay, I need for you to sober up because it's nowhere near that. All right, okay. All right, so I'm seeing a whole series. Awesome. So now let's take a look. So remember, we have our please excuse my dear Aunt Sally from left to right. All right, so we don't have any parentheses, so that gone. We do have an exponent, so that we're going to take care of. So 3 squared. 3 squared is not 6. Notice the size difference, okay? As my friend Lynette would say, size matters, all right? So since the size difference, we have 3 squared. That means we're taking that base of 3 and we're multiplying it to itself 2 times. That's how we get our 9. So now we have our, I'm going to raise it up just a little bit so I can save a little bit of paper. We have our 100 minus 5, and it's going to be multiplied. I know it's an X. I know I'm cringing, but this is multiplication. Okay, I got to work with what I got online. All right, so it's going to be 5 times 9. So now we're working on multiplication or division from left to right. So we are not combining the 10 and the 5. No. We don't do we don't do addition or subtraction before multiplication. So we have to do 5 times 9. So we have 100 minus 5 times 9, which gives me my 45. And now when we subtract 100 minus 45, because that's all that's left, we get our answer of 55. Okay. All right. Yep. Yes. Same sign you add, different signs you subtract. Thank you, no name. I need your name. Okay. All right. I'm a math teacher in school because we were probably in the same grade. Can you show the subtraction across 0? All right. So, yes. So, before I get to the next one, because I am going to give you one more before I get back to the paper. Now, if you're wondering how can you actually support this person? This person is awesome. I love what she's doing. Okay? I do have, and I know it's kind of crazy, but it's right here. I had to redo my paper. Sorry. So, if anything, I do put my recordings on this channel. Okay? All you have to do is just go here. All right? So if you want to support me and you know, hey, I don't have the money for the TikTok gifts, I totally understand. But there are some ways that you can support me. If you want, you can do a search of ACG Math Tutoring. Do a Google review. Like, hey, I just saw this woman on TikTok and she blew my mind. Just keep it clean. There you go. All right. You can create a TikTok post for me. Talk about your experience. I know there's a lot of people on here that actually have passed their GED because of the videos and because of the lives. I know there's a lot of people that have raised their score for the ASVAB because of the time and attention they took by sitting down and watching the replays or coming to the live or interacting on the live. I want to hear from you. Okay, I want to hear from you. I want to see what you got. All right, and also you can follow me here on the Tickety TikTok. You can go here because I do have books and other supports. That's where a lot of these cards are coming from. So you can definitely go there. All right, tell everybody about me. All right, so let's try another one. So let's see what you can do with this one. Here we go. I know, everybody's like, oh, she's selling stuff, I'm going to leave. Well, duh. Have you not welcomed yourself into this world? All right, so what we got? Oh, greetings, the real Han. How are you? By way of Germany? Well, welcome in. Okay, Carlos, D1 student. Okay, I see you. It's saying 30, Lily saying 37, random chick saying 35. Do I really teach third grade? Is this third grade level? This is a lot of different things, okay? Okay, Doll with a -2, James with 37. Icy, how are you? I see you in there trying to be silly. Okay, the Chosen 37. We got a lot of 37s in here. 37s, AJ, Bridge, Nelly, Flower, Mike. Moikey. No, I am actually a high school teacher, but I teach everything from GED, from 7th grade all the way up to GED, ASVAB, ACCUPLACER, TEAS test, Praxis exam. I'm starting to do that. And now the PERT. If you're in Florida and your kid needs help with the PERT, I've been doing stuff. Okay? All right. Patrick, you okay, baby? 2 million. Are you trying to say you're going to put that in my account, Patrick? Oh, look at you. You're so sweet. All right. So let's take a moment. Yes, Tesla, I do. So, one, we're going to use this. Parentheses. We got to do what's inside the parentheses first. Let me slide this up a little bit. So that means we have our 7 squared plus 3 minus, and what do we get inside this parenthesis? 5 plus 10, that gives us 15. So the parenthesis basically could go away. Not too bad. Now we're going to deal with the exponent. So the exponent is your 7 squared. Now 7 squared is not 14. Stop it. Okay, it's 7 times 7, which gives me a 49. I'm going to bring down my plus 3, and I'm going to bring down my minus 15. So we don't have any multiplication, nor division. So hey, now we can go into the addition or subtraction. But guess what? We have to do it from left to right. Everything has a pattern. This is no longer the 90s, okay? We are not wearing our underwear outside our clothes. I don't care if that fashion is starting to come back. No. So 49 plus 3, that gives us our 52, minus our 15. So 52 minus the 15, that's where your 37 is going to come from. All right. Okay. Yep, your brackets, your orders, yes. So if you are my international peeps, well, one, welcome in. All right, so I got you right here. So this is what you have. You have your brackets, your others or your orders, your division, your multiplication, addition, and subtractions, BODMAS. All right, or if you are here about the whole, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Yes, I have created a lot of these books that has a lot of resources. I have notebooks. I have everything. All right. Yep. Can we do algebra? That's what we're doing, my dear. All of this. Okay. All of this is algebra. All right. So let's take it a step up. Let's see if I can do this. All right. So now we're going to take a look at factoring completely. Okay. I know I'm jumping from a little bit to a little bit. I'm just trying to give you a little bit of taste and show you how I teach, how I break concepts down, but at the same time, give you a moment. You know, when you're in the classroom, there's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of stimulation. There's a lot of, oh, why is that kid licking the wall? Why is that kid climbing the tree? They're about to fight. All those lovely things that we usually see in the classroom. But now you can relax. You can breathe. Try to understand. Hello, hi, how are you? All right. So now, I know I used to be a classroom teacher. Trust me, I should write a book. It might get banned, but I should write a book. I know. Why is that kid doing that, right? Don't let that guy and that boy go to the bathroom because they're not going to the bathroom, right? Everyone knows that one secret stairwell that every school building has. Anywho, so we're going to factor completely. This is what's called, and I'm seeing a lot of people with C's, but then I wasn't seeing too many people putting stuff in, okay? Now, this is what's called the difference meaning subtraction, of squares. X is being squared, and 9 is a perfect square. So you're probably saying, what's a perfect square? So a number that can be multiplied to itself, let me slide over a little bit, will be like perfect squares. So like 1 times 1, that'll give me 1. 2 times 2, that'll give me 4. 3 times 3 gives us 9. 4 times 4 gives us 16. 5 times 5, 25. And I'm just going to stop here at 6 times 6, which gives us 36. That's supposed to be a 6. I was thinking of something else. Now, another way of saying it, instead of saying 1 times 1, 2 times 2, 3 times 3, and so forth, we can say 1 squared. We can say 2 squared. Same with 3 squared, 4 squared, 5 squared, and 6 squared. Okay? All right. So if we want to break this down, we're going to break them down into their own parentheses. Okay? We're going to break it down into their own parentheses. So if I took the square root, now here's the thing, just in case a lot of you guys don't know, squares and square roots, they're inverses of each other. Just like a positive 4 and a negative 4, they're inverses of each other. They will cancel each other out. So the square and the square root will cancel each other out. What's left is the x. And we're putting an x in both of the parentheses. Now, 9 taking a look, which of these will give me a 9? Oh, right here. That's 3 squared, which is the same as saying 3 times 3. So that means you have 3 in one parenthesis and 3 in the other. But we weren't looking at a positive 9. We're looking at a negative 9. So in order for it to be a negative 9, that means one of these 3's have to be positive and the other 3 has to be negative. So if we're looking at our answer choices, right away, we actually found an answer. So prime is definitely out. Prime means it cannot be factored, cannot be broken down. We're looking at its lowest term. But then it's not going to be B because they're saying 9 times negative 1. No. But our answer, in fact, is going to be C because we have our positive 3 and we have our negative 3. Now, for some of you guys, if you did it as x minus 3 and then x plus 3, that's fine. Okay, that's interchangeable. That's fine. Okay, all right. Right, it doesn't. Okay, but it works for, so Juan, this actually works for the difference of squares. Okay, all right. All right, let me scroll back because I know there was a lot of activity. One positive, one negative. There's AYJ. There we go. All right. Very good. You just did this in class today, Candy. Awesome. All right. So for all those that were saying my A's, do you see why? Okay. All right. Who does math for fun? Who said it was for fun? This is for education purpose. I do math for fun. Well, you know, I'm here to help people out. Trying to get you guys ready for your ASVAB test because it seems like a lot of people want to go into the military recently. I don't know what's going on, but here we are. Okay, so now we're going to simplify. Let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger because, you know, we're all kind of aging up there. All right, so we have 12a cubed b squared divided by 4ab. And I want you to simplify that. So is your answer A, which is 3a squared b? Is it B, 8a squared b? C, is it 3a to the fourth, b to the third? Or D, 3ab? What are you thinking? Ooh, got a whole flood of A's, and I got C, just to break it up. Oh, is it someone's birthday? I'm sorry, I missed it. Happy birthday. Okay, whole bunch of A's, whole bunch of A's, whole bunch of A's, got a B, a whole bunch of A's. None of the above, I see you. We got A's. We got A's and a D. Okay, seeing a whole bunch of A's, whole bunch of A's, saying that who said B? It's there. It's there. Okay, but this is why I'm not here to judge. Okay. All right. Know what happened if we don't have a perfect square number. Okay, I'm gonna work you through. All right, so it's not B, so let's take a look. When you are dividing, you are going to divide what's called the coefficients. So if I may, I like to kind of break it up. So you have 12 to the fourth, then you have your A cubed and your A. Then you have your B squared and your B. Okay, what I did was I just basically broke this up so I can see it a little bit better. Okay, there's nothing wrong with this. If you see it ahead of time, beautiful. But sometimes you might want to break them up into their own what's called ratio. So now 12 divided by 4, I can do that. 12 divided by 4 will give me 3. So knowing that I get a whole number of 3, right away B is out. Because A, C, and D all have a 3 involved. So now, let's break down our A's. So A to the third power, that means, let me use a different pen. That means we're taking this base of A and we're multiplying to itself 3 times. And then we have that one singular A in the denominator. So I know if I see anything divided by itself will equal 1. So A divided by A, they cancel out. That gives me a 1. And we all know that 1 times anything is itself. But what's left over? We got 2 A's. And the way that I write 2 A's is simply A squared. Now, if you don't want to do what's called the extended form, what you can simply do is, let me push this down a bit, is you're going to take your base of A, start with the exponent of the numerator, which is 3, subtract it by the exponent in the denominator. If you don't see a number, it's always assumed to be a 1. That's what a lot of people's teachers are saying. If you don't see, they don't say that X or A in this case is going to equal to 1. A is a variable. It can equal anything it wants to. Independent female. There we go. All right, you can be whatever you want to be. But they're talking about the exponent and they're talking about the leading coefficient. If you don't see anything in front of the variable or up in the exponent, it's assumed to be a 1. So now we're doing 3 minus 1, which gives me A squared. Same thing is happening with the b's. So let's do the subtraction. So we have b raised to the second power minus what's assumed to be there, a1. So 2 minus 1, that gives me 1. So that means I have b to the first power, or just simply a base of b. So this, my loves, is my answer. So 3a squared b, and that is answer A. Okay. All right. You got it right? Love that. Perfect. Right back at you, Mickey. Right back at you. All right, so let me unzoom because I know a lot of people love taking pictures of my stuff. Now, here's my thing. If you're going to take pictures, I'm perfectly fine with that. But make sure you look at it. Make sure you use it. Make sure you study it, okay? Don't just take pictures and gather things like you're a freaking squirrel, all right? Like, I need all the information I can get. All right, Sham. Hey, Sham, how are you? Olivia, how are you? Okay, so when you use this information, I want you to use it. I want you to get out of your slump of, I can't do math, this sucks. And I want you to embrace the greatness that you are. So if the barrier of math is it, you need to talk to me. All right? So it's a combination. It's a combination. Well, thanks, Fritz. Yep, I gotcha. So another one of the fractions? Yes, I can do another one of the fractions. Let me do this one, and then we can chitty, bang, bang, chat. All right. So, might have to shrink it a little bit more. So sorry. Okay. I wasn't thinking of TikTok when I was creating my papers. Find the slope of the line passing through points 1, 2, and 3, 6. Okay, so we are looking for the slope, and we want you to pass through points 1, 2, and 3, 6. So, is your slope A1, B2, C3, or D4? Okay. All right. Okay, so I got a couple B's. Horton with a B, thank you so much. Heart, dear lungs, I want to say. Is saying B. King is saying 2. Okay, Nally is saying B. The Chosen saying B. Yeah, that person is saying B. Muffin, what are you doing? C. Jones is saying 2. Sailor C. Jook is saying what? Okay. Rock is saying C. Hello, how are you? Aloha. All right. Do Delta Y, Delta X. Look at Toaster. I love that. Good job. Jaja is saying C. User 54 with C. Miss Blacken saying B. Real Mush, I don't know, saying A. All right. So don't fret. If you're not sure, you can also put a question mark in. Okay. That kind of tells me like how much detail do I need to do. But based on some of these answers, I'm seeing some A's and B's and C's. Thank you so much for your honesty, Timo, Elizabeth, Nisha, Echo, Sai. Hey, Sai. Okay, Victor. Yes, Chris. All right, thank you. No clue. I got you, Susan. Got you. Thank you for your honesty, everyone, and just in trusting. Now, when we're finding slope, slope is basically your gradient. Have you ever like walked up a hill, like maybe if you're going walking and all of a sudden you're like, oh, okay, this is all right. And then all of a sudden there's a major incline and you're like, ouch. Why is this hill here? I am dying. I can't handle it. Or the best, especially what we have right here, we have ice and snow. We can't even call it snow. Just call it straight ice right now. And if you catch it on a hill going down, shoo, it's just amazing. So that's what slope is. Slope is your gradient. How steep is your line? Okay. So you can have a negative slope. You can have a positive slope. You can have straight horizontal 0 slope, or you can have Death Star 1 vertical slope. You just fell. Like you just dropped out of the sky. That's it. All right. So we're trying to find the slope here, which you have your change or your delta. That's what delta means. Delta means change. You're going to have your change of y's over the change of x's. Now, what I mean by change, let me zoom in a little bit. This is the first point that we see. So this is going to be my x1 and my y1, meaning this is the x and the y value of the first point. That means this is going to be my x2 and my y2. That means this is the x and y value of the second point. So when you do slope, and this is why I like to show it both ways, some people know the formula as y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. So all we're doing is plugging in the information that we have up here into our formula. And the reason why we say the change of y is because you're doing the difference of your y's over the difference of your x's. So now y2, that's 6, minus my y1, which is 2, my x sub 2, which is 3, minus my x sub 1, which is 1. So now 6 minus 2, that gives me 4. 3 minus 1, that gives me 2. 4 divided by 2, that gives me 2. This, my dears, is my slope. But like I said, there's another way of doing it. Most of the time, and this is what happens to a lot of my students, they're perfectly fine when it's y2 minus y1, they'll do the 6 minus 2. But this is what happens each and every time. I think it's a brain thing that they always mix up the x's. They will say, oh, then this is 1 minus 3. And then they'll get like a negative 2 and they'll get a negative 2 as their answer. And I always have to mark something wrong. So then I realized, hey, we read basically from left to right. So why can't we set up from left to right? Yeah, I'll give you some negatives, but you'll be okay. So your y, which is 2, minus 6, and your x1, which is 1, minus 3. It goes with your eyes a lot better. Yes, you have 2 minus 6, that gives you a negative 4. And 1 minus 3, that gives you a negative 2. And negative divided by a negative, that gives you a positive. Notice you get the same exact answer. Okay, so you can go either way. All right. Okay. Love this option. Awesome. Okay. So a lot of people usually kind of get it a little mixed up when they're just like, which goes where? And you worry so much about figuring out what goes where. Okay. Awesome. Great. So now, as promised, we're going to do some more of my lovely cards. So let's get with, and I'm going to use the back of that sheet. Let's get with, let me see if we guys can do this one. Let's do some little exponents, exponentials. Slink. Okay, let's see if we can get some more exponentials. Okay, thank you for the follows, guys. I greatly appreciate it. Okay. So yes, for those that are coming in, my name is Audrey Codner. I'm the owner of ACG Math Tutoring. So what I basically do is hit on a lot of the concepts that you generally see in Algebra 1 and sometimes Algebra 2. But a lot of the concepts that you generally see in your GED, your ASVAB, your ACCUPLACER, your TEAS test, your HESI test, any kind of high school equivalency test, anything that's going to be touching on algebra, I usually like to come on here and break it down. All right, so no more freaking out, no more telling your kids, oh, I have a horrible disease called math phobia, and you probably have it too. No. Okay. And plus, I'm helping you to save some money from hiring me as your tutor. So, and I'm just sharing a lot of the things that I currently have available. And I do not have a TikTok shop. I don't know. It's been acting kind of funny for me. So I was like, let me just do my own thing and welcome on in. All right. So we got 64, 64 is 26. We got 2 to the 6th power. We got 2 to the 6th power. All right, so we got our 64s. I see a couple 64s as well. Anyone from Cape Town? Not too sure. Okay, you're 44 and you still don't get it? Well, CJ, you were actually doing some stuff. So don't tell yourself that you're not getting it. Because remember, I'm going to be here to break it down. All right? Nisa, I got you. You're going to be a little lost. You're a little lost, Jasmine. Not a problem. Okay? Because when was the last time you saw this? Since you were a fetus, you ain't see this for a while. Give yourself some credit, okay? A little bit of credit. All right. Never. All right. So let's break it down. Okay? Although we are doing exponents, we're dealing with exponents. So what's happening is when you have an exponent being raised to an exponent, basically everything inside of this bracket is your base. So what it's basically saying is, hey, let's take this negative 2 raised to the 3rd power and we're going to multiply it to negative 2 raised to the 3rd power. Keep forgetting I had to do brackets. But this looks confusing as I don't know what, right? So let's keep it simple. Here's the rule. When you have an exponent being raised to an exponent, you multiply your exponents. You're going to keep that base 2. And all we're doing is multiplying the exponents. So 3 times 2, that's to the 6th power. So if we wanted to break that down even further, because sometimes they just want a regular number. This is telling you, hey, negative 2, I need for you to multiply yourself 6 times. One more. Okay, that's what exponents do. The exponent's job is to tell the base how many times they have to multiply themselves. Okay, all right, so we're breaking it on down. Hey, Lynette. So break it down in small chunks, because remember, when you take this test, you can't have a calculator. So if we know negative times negative gives me a positive, it'll give me a positive 4. But guess what? We got 2 more of those same grouping. Negative times negative gives me a positive 4. Negative times negative gives me a positive 4. So now, we're not going to focus on these 2's because we broke them down with the 4's. So now, from left to right, we're going to multiply 4 times 4. 4 times 4 gives me 16. Bring down the times 4 on the end. So now we got 16 times 4. 6 and 4 gives me 24. So take down the 4, carry the 2. 4 times 1 gives me 4 plus the 2 that we carried. That gives me 6. All right. So if you want, that's one way of doing it. And you're like, well, where's that negative 8 coming from? Oh, because negative 2 to the third power, that's the same as saying negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2. Negative 2 times negative 2 gives us 4. 4 times negative 2 gives us negative 8. And if we wanted to square that negative 8, we can also get 64. Okay? So I really want to show you that there is more than one way of getting the same answer. All right? There's more than one way. So you have to pick which way you feel best with. Did you feel better with breaking it down step by step by multiplying the exponents and then the multiplying of the negative 2's? Or did you feel better with tackling what's inside the bracket, which that's where the negative 8 came from, and then we square it? You make the choice. Okay? All right. Go ahead, Olivia. Okay. It's going to be a little confusing, especially if you haven't done exponents in a while. Okay? Again, you haven't seen it since you were a fetus. All right? So let's see. Let me see. And have I done these cards? Yes. These are my cards too. Boo-boo. All right? This should be quick, easy, and dirty. Tell me what my answer is. Ooh, yes. Okay, not a problem, Ann. All right. So I'm seeing a lot of zeros and I'm seeing a lot of ones. Okay, feel like we're doing a binary code right now, like we're in the Matrix. All right, so I got a 4x in there. I got a 4. All right, we got 1s. Got some 4s. Got multiple answers. So this is the reason why I developed these cards. Okay, this is the reason why I sat here multiple nights in the dark putting these cards together because of these multiple answers. So here's the thing. Everything inside of this parenthesis is being raised to the 0 power. Now, this is the most important part that everyone needs to understand. Anything raised to the 0 power is 1, not 0. Okay? Anything raised to the 0 power is equal to 1. All right. Okay, how can you get the cards? You can order them through my link, because there's a link in my bio, and you can go there. You can also order them on the Big A, but I have physical copies, but I also have digital copies. All right. So a lot of my books and everything that you can get right here in my bio. So I have the algebra at your pace. So if you're thinking about getting your GED, ASVAT, and you're just like, Audrey, I like your stuff, but your tutoring price is a little steep for me. Not a problem. I developed some workbooks for you. Okay, so right now I'm working on volume 7 and 8 as we speak. Okay. So everything in here. So the first volume, if you want to know where to go, if you need to work on integers, decimals, exponents, all of them are in here. So what happens is in the very beginning, because I changed the format since this one, okay, in the very beginning page, you will actually get a link. So a QR code that you have to scan. Inside this QR code, say like properties of exponents, inside the QR code will give you a recording of me breaking down properties of exponents step by step. Gave you a section for you to put some notes down. I also gave you a section for you to put the practice problems that we're going to do together from the videos down. Gave you some room so you don't have to worry about buying a whole book. But then I give you some extra practice problems. Notice, it's not super overwhelming, okay? It's not like 50 to 100 questions on one page and your brain is like, freaking out. So it's nice and easy. And then, of course, in the backhand side, it gives you a little bit of the answers. But at the back end, okay, so this goes in, I give you a sample quiz. So there's a quiz that you can take that's involving everything in this volume, okay? Everything that's in the volume, as well as I give you an answer choice. But then I give you some resources, okay? So if you get some resources, here, I have the rules for integers, just in case you forgot, okay? How to do decimal operation, how to do fractions. If a lot of people that have known me for a while, I basically took the stuff out of the back of my math notebooks and I just made it accessible. So you don't have to go running all over the place. You have everything that you need in that volume in this book. Okay, even my factor chart. Okay, so also give you the certain terms, which I might show you a couple of those. I gave you the perfects, the list of the perfect squares, square roots, cube roots. All right, and then as a bonus, I gave you a copy of, look at that. Does that look familiar? Does this look familiar right here? We just did this. So what you can do if you want to rip it out of the book, have fun, do that. If you want to make a photocopy of it and do what I did, which is like laminate my stuff. If you don't have a laminator, that's okay. They're going to live, all right? And it give you page after page. Okay, give you an idea, and also I give you the rules of everything underneath. Okay, so notice you generally get 4 cards on one page. That's 3. This is 4. Can't turn pages with one hand. That's 5. That's 6. Oh, this looks familiar because we just did that. All right, so 6 pages. 6 times 4, 24 different cards that you can use. So not only do you have for that, I have it for functions, factors, ratios, order of operation, okay? Solving equations. Anytime you try to solve those 1-step, 2-step, multi-step equations, absolute values, that's the book for you. You don't have to buy the whole thing, just buy what you need. Okay, if you're saying I need the whole thing, all right, then take it one book at a time. All right, so everything. So for these books, through the A, it's like $22.97, but you can also get the books directly through digital. You can download it. Okay, there is a downloaded version. That's just like $17.99. But if you just want, because this is what I like, if you just want the stuff in the back, if you just want, I don't know, matching cards, okay? Help you a little bit with, let me get the early stuff, evaluating functions. I have those cards. If you want to do some of the matching cards with the solving, that's in there as well. Okay, this is all one book. This book is thicker than a Snicker. Look at this thing. Look at it. All right. And there's always an answer key in the very back of the book. I'm not just going to keep you trying to guess. So what you do is you solve it or you simplify it, and then you try to find the matching card, the matching solution. This is great for classrooms, homeschool parents, all that. And if you're trying to say, hey, Audrey, I just can't understand all the formulas that's on there. There's so many formulas. I got a book for you. Okay? I got a book for you. So if anything, if you want, just go to the link in my bio. There's only one link. We're only allowed one link. All right? All right? So look at all these formulas. This looks familiar. Okay? For sine SOHCAHTOA. All right, we got our SOHCAHTOA, we got sum. Everything is inside of a book. So what you can do is, here's a couple of them. You can cut them out. We got distance, rate, and time. If I want to, here's the match. This is the symbol that helps me to remember distance, rate, and time. You're going to see a lot of these, especially those that are taking the ASVAB, okay? Then area of a rectangle, okay? Length, width, or base and height. That looks familiar. PEMDAS? Huh? All right. What is it? There we go. We got our parentheses, exponents, all that stuff. Then we have our percent increase. So I have all of these, okay? Simple interest, and I even give you some blank ones just in case there's some that you may need in particular for your course. All right, so I have all these here. Okay, gonna take board exam here in the Philippines. Okay, all right, so again, the link is in my bio. All right, so, and if you are gonna do digital products, let me put this up here. Please, please, please look at the thank you page, because that's where your link is going to be. Okay, so after you purchase through Stripe, then there's going to be a thank you page that comes up. Click and save that link. That's where you can use it as many times as your heart's desire. All right, so all of that is here. So what's going to be inside the link of my bio? We got the Algebra at Your Pace workbooks that I just showed you. Tons of the flashcard books. And of course I have some of them, but I'm still waiting for some to be delivered. But I guess because of the weather, it's just, it's just going to take some time. So not even, I know this is the hard part here. Okay, if you struggle with your squares, your cubes, and you want to use flashcards, you can do that. We got the verbal to algebraic matching cards. So what I mean by that is if you struggle with word problems, I got some matching cards that can help you out, because certain words have certain phrases. So if I had, say, let's do like this, a number decreased by 8. What would that be as an algebraic expression? Okay. Are you teaching course? Yes. Do I have age problems? Not a whole lot of the age problems. There's some that's in my, I'm doing a book with sample tests, so I'm going to do that. Okay, thank you, Op. Thank you, Dap. Say x minus 8. Hold on. This is the part. All right. Okay. Yep, so a minus 8, that will work as well. Okay, it is going to be subtraction. Good. So then I have like a whole stack of cards. Okay, so you're going to have some that's going to have phrases, and then you have to match which one it is. So certain words. And again, the very back, I always give an answer key. All right. So the product of a number and 10, well, that's multiplying. That's 10n. If I say the quotient, this is fun. Let me grab that. If I said the quotient of a number and 4 less than 7, what would that be as an exponential? As a algebraic expression. Okay, notice we're not saying equals anything. Okay. All right. QXM. What do you think? And if you're not sure, you can put question marks. Put a question mark. Okay, thank you, Lisa. Take a shift. Okay. So you have n times b plus 4 minus 7. Okay, the chosen, thank you for your honesty. Is that blue? Okay. All right, awesome, Olivia. So glad to see you. I'm hoping everything's turning out well. Let me know if you need any assistance, okay? Okay, Misha is saying x over 4 minus 7. Okay. All right. So, quotient, that's division. Okay. So we're looking at the quotient of, so that means it has to be dividing two things. And the two things is the number and 4. And then we have less than 7. Okay. So if we're looking at it, so I just use n, and I made sure I use the same variable throughout this whole packet. Because I know how people are when they're like, oh, match the Q with the Q. And you're not really learning the process. You're just playing the matching game with the variables. So I made sure I kept it with the things. Okay? Right. So we have two things. The quotient, that's your division of a number and 4. Less than 7. Really should be the other way around, but we'll talk about that. Okay? So that's what I do with this book. Okay? Variable to algebraic matching cards. This, if you cut all the pages out, this is how thick you'll get it. All right? Okay? This is basically how everything is always processed. So now we have Algebra at Your Pace. This is all the resources that I have for all of my books, all in one. Okay, I just showed you the Formula 1 earlier, the Exponent 1 as well. And if you struggle with multiplying or even dividing integers, especially when you have one of them as negative and one of them as positive, or both are negative, I created flashcard books for that as well. And there is more to come. Okay, so tired. Okay. So the last part, I'm going to stop selling. I'm going to start promoting some other people. So, because I used to do that. Again, if you want to support me, I greatly appreciate anything. It's not so much the dinero. Gifts are nice, but this will help me out so I can get more students. Yes, I do tutoring. And if anything, just go ahead and message me. You can do a direct message and I'll respond back either sometime tonight or maybe even early morning. So if you could do a Google review, that would be awesome. Just look up ACG Math Tutoring. If you can do a post, maybe take a sample of this live and create a post. My friend Janice does a very good job of doing that. Or actually just follow me here on TikTok. You can look me up on the Big A and also look me up on the YT right here and just go here. But I just need for you to tell everybody about me, okay? Now, Here's some other people that I really think you should follow. Impact Math. So just in case I'm not on, because I have clients all over. Like when I say all over, I'm in Puerto Rico, Alaska, all throughout the United States. I had some in Cairo, Egypt. They finished up, as well as Nairobi, Kenya. So it's like I have students everywhere. So sometimes I'm not here on live that often. But if you still need assistance, you can go to Impact Math. She does GED, ASVAB, and also worksheets and tutoring. If you are trying to get your TEAS test or your HESI test, make sure you see a Blessed RN. She's awesome with doses calculations. Trust me, to the point, to the T, and you won't have to spend too much time trying to break down the math. Professor TK, if you need someone for chemistry, she's a very good chemistry tutor. Okay, definitely check out Professor TK. And if you want to learn how to break down math in its basic form, okay, before we start doing this whole thing called algebra and everything, make sure you match up with Learning with Lynette. She teaches you how to break down math using the abacus. So adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing. There seems to be a lot more adults that are going into those lives, so make sure you see her. And then my friend Andy, he is a watch connoisseur. His post is like blowing up. So if you're ever like wondering, what kind of watch is this? Is this watch worth anything? He will actually look at your watch collection and break it down for you. I just love watching his stuff. All right, so make sure you follow these guys as well. That'll be awesome. And did laugh at your joke? Thank you, Nacho. I see it now. Yeah, I wasn't paying too much attention. I'm so sorry. Okay. All right. So if anything, I'm going to wrap up here. So again, if you want, you can go to the link in my bio, take a look. There's also a link that will take you to my website. Just go ahead and just look around. You know, if you have any questions, do not hesitate to DM me. I always usually DM more so than I'd be doing video recordings. All right. So if you need anything, I'm going to see if I can come in tomorrow. We'll see how it goes. I just had a cancellation, but now I got to get myself ready for my 7 o'clock, which is happening in 4 minutes. All right, everyone. Let me wrap this up, and I will see you guys next time. Stay cool, as in your temperature of don't get irate, and just keep being awesome. All right. Good luck to you, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye now.